I checked out that Goosebumps musical.
Oh.
We should listen to it and I guess review it because we'll never see it on the stage. It's weird that there's a Goosebumps musical.
Yeah. Well, first off, I didn't listen to it because I'm saving it for when we actually listen to it.
Yeah.
But where is it? Where are they performing said musical?
I was confused because see, this is getting into covering it, but it seems like it was a local stage play that just got the permission.
What?
Which is this is what I wish happened. It might not be true, and we'll have to do the research for an episode that we'll totally do.
Mm-hmm.
What I hope is that a local, like Ohio teacher was, I remember Goosebumps. I grew up reading those. I'm trying to get the kids to read them. They don't care as much because they watch Euphoria and play Fortnite, and none of this is scary. But I'm going to write my own musical. And they wrote a Goosebumps musical. And then they wrote a letter to R.L. Stine, maybe with a little tape track of like one of the first songs. Mm-hmm. Goosebumps, gonna get goosebumps. Do, 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 do. And R.L. Stine's like, I love it. This is great. You have all of my permission. Will this go on Broadway? And they're like, no, it's just going to play in Ohio. But at some point, like, momentum built. And that was a stage play about the Phantom of the Auditorium.
I know, I don't want to cover too much of it right now. We got to save it for the actual episode. But it was premiered in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. Wow. And then it moved Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then it moved apparently. Oh no, I guess it simultaneously premiered there and Portland, Oregon.
Wow,
it made it to the coast, baby. That's the cultural hubs.
I feel like I will have many thoughts on it once I consume it, because my old gig in college, every summer I would drive the van for a children's theater camp.
That's sick.
I'm sorry. I'm just now learning this information about pre Goosebuds Kevin. You drove the van for a musical camp.
Kevin, please tell me you gave stoic advice to those children as you drove.
Oh my God. Well, not as I drove. I didn't have to move kids. Just like I had to go out and buy like props and set.
Oh, they didn't trust you with living souls.
Well, I did run anime club there, so that was my time with the kids, and that's when I gave most of my stoic advice to
Gotcha. I found a way to have children's souls in my power.
By the way, like classical stoic advice is you can totally control how you feel. You're just being a baby about it.
Right.
And I feel like that is rarely true.
Oh, I just meant like stoically gave advice. Like you were.
Yes, I gave advice, I was stoic about it.
I'm picturing, Kevin, you're wearing some sort of conductor cap for some reason, and you are driving a full bus filled with the hearts and minds of teenage art enthusiasts.
I mean, the biggest event for my life, and we'll get to more of this when we hit the actual musical in the actual episode, but the biggest the biggest like moment for me was I had to explain why the kids were taking a bath with their dad in My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay. In Anime Club, they're like, we have questions, why?
Yeah, they're like, that seems very strange. And I'm like, yeah, it's just not like a weird thing there. Like, it's not weird.
It's bathing culture,
like,
baby.
They're like, but it's weird to us. And I'm like, this is, okay, so there are different
Were you old?
cultures.
How much older were you? Were you like a mentor to the Anime Club?
I was 23. These kids were in middle school, so...
Oh my God.
No, I was like, well, at the end I was 23. At the beginning I was like, I think 20.
Damn, you were in the hard years. The real hard years.
But you're like introducing them to like, they're probably like, I like Naruto. And you're like, here is Evangelion.
I actually got some good recommendations from those kids. A lot of them were like, can we watch this anime? And I'm like, I'll look it up because like I have a budget and I can just go to Best Buy and get any DVD I want. And I'd be like, oh, absolutely not. This one is not cool for theater camp, but you have fun taste.
Can I tell you guys a super embarrassing story that I feel like is fine for me to just air it out on the podcast?
Sure, why not?
You just reminded, like a suppressed memory just unearthed by that, Kevin.
Oh, fun.
I'm sorry.
At some point in elementary school, I think it was elementary school, we had a like free writing exercise where you could write any sort of play. Mm-hmm. And no direction whatsoever. And I distinctly remember that I think just because I had love in my heart and a crush on this girl named Erin,
mm-hmm.
that I was madly in love with, I wrote a whole, it's not really a monologue, it was really just a 2-person play where I wrote out my fan fiction of me telling Erin I liked her, and then her saying she liked me back. And then I was like, we should kiss. And she's like, that sounds like a great idea. It was pages and pages.
Oh my God.
But very embarrassing.
I love that it was, Chad, I know you've grown as a writer since then, but I love that it sounds devoid of any tension whatsoever.
No, it was like, there was no conflict. But the conflict was in my own heart. It was me being, I will never get to do this.
Right. Okay.
I will never say how I feel, so I'm going to write out this version.
I think it's beautiful that you did that. I think it's good that you did that.
Well, I remember... I remember giving it to my teacher. We all turned them all in. There was one day where I suddenly thought we maybe were going to have to read them aloud. We did not, thank God, because Erin was in the class. That would have been embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy!
And he a week later, he handed all of the plays back out, graded to all the students, and I didn't get mine. And after class, I asked him about it. I was like, "Yeah, did you get my play?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you have any thoughts or no?" He's like, "It was fine, Chad. It was fine." And you can tell he clearly was like, "I don't want to talk about it." It was clear, he was embarrassed for me.
Wow.
And I still feel the shame.
Chad, you realize that's worse than you writing it, right? Your teacher's your teacher's an adult. You were a child.
I know. I don't think it would have been a lasting memory if not for my teacher's reaction of him going I don't even want to give it back to you. It's really weird.
I'm going to forget this for you, Chad.
I'm going to forget this for you so that you forget it until your friends on a podcast in 20 years bring it up. Bringing up a similar story that reminds you of it.
But Chad, in a way, maybe, maybe that was leading you to your current career. And maybe, the next step for you is to do a remake.
And there is the stoic advice from van driver Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah! Uncle Kevin, do you think I'm going to get the lead role in the play?
No.
It's fine, Chad. It's fine.
And you don't want it, by the way. You don't want the lead role. This is camp. You want to make friends. And you want to hang out. You don't want to get the lead role.
You don't want them gunning for you.
Yeah.
You don't want to do I guess even in Wet Hot American Summer, for the sake of the joke, it sure feels like the 4 or 5 kids who are in that musical are only doing that at camp.
Oh yeah, well Bradley Cooper and Amy Poehler are holding it down there. Yeah,
really committed to it.
The rumor mill at theater camp is it takes people and churns out dust.
Do you think you were part of the rumor mill?
I definitely wasn't whispering rumors to children.
Well, of course you weren't, but I'm sure there was some Kevin rumors going on.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really gave a shit about me. I had no power. I was just sort of some kids would come to me and confide in me and talk to me and stuff like that, and I'd be like, hey, this isn't forever. But that's sort of...
I think on appropriate so nothing you just saying, hey, this isn't forever would be good advice.
What if the teacher said that to you, Chad, when you asked him about your play? Hey, this isn't forever, kid.
Hey, this is not forever. This is a moment in time.
This is a moment in time. You did a thing. We're gonna move past it.
Well, it doesn't sound like you were invisible to the children.
I was an alternative pick to the kids as a mentor. There were some pop hits. There were some classics. And then, there's me off in my little local indie section.
Right, right.
I'm just going to guess, Kevin, that if I was young enough to be in that place with you as a camp leader, I would have been just drawn to you. If male role model that's acting kind of unattached to the rest of it and has still waters run deep sort of vibe and isn't gunning for approval is just a magnet for young Chad.
Man who somehow smokes while not smoking.
Actually, I'm picturing Kevin, I know you don't smoke, but I'm picturing you with a Lord of the Rings pipe just sitting on a hillside.
Yeah, he just has the energy of a man who smokes, but he doesn't do any of the smoking,
Yeah.
The devil may care attitude.
Damn, Kevin, you're fucking cool.
You're cool as hell.
Yeah, I want to meet this guy you guys are talking about.
I just realized what my teacher should have said to my play. He should have absolutely fucking burned me.
Let's hear it.
And he should have handed me back my play and been like, what I requested was something that was nonfiction.
Damn.
Yeah. I feel like he should have tried to punch you up. He's like, let's get some gags in there, Like, let's get some jokes going.
He should have handed you a copy of Waiting for Godot and been like, search through this, find some stuff, and make that work with what you got.
He should have been like, put some cars in it.
If I'm not hearing brooms, I'm not into it.
I'm not hearing brooms. Oh, God.
That's what'll make me believe in the world.
Slap 4 wheels on it.
Jesus Christ. It's almost like I worked on a project with a boss that approved things if there were cars in it. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
That feels safe to say.
Welcome to Goosebuds.
Hey.
I'm Chad.
I'm Paul.
I'm Kevin.
And we usually read R.L. Stine's Goosebump books. Other times we read other YA novels. Today we are covering a book that was voted on by our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/goosebuds. We love you all. They chose the Michigan Chillers series, the book Dinosaurs Destroy Detroit.
Do we have a large Michigan audience, Chad? Do we think that was the reason this was picked? Or is it just funny that a series called Michigan Chillers exists?
I mean, it could have been that plus just like, I think all the young children and all of us are drawn to dinosaur stories.
Oh, for sure. I want to know who I contact, because on the cover it says maximum chills guaranteed, and I was not chilled once during this.
Not terribly chilling.
I was pretty pretty tepid.
Pretty tepid. I mean, I'm not trying to besmirch the quality of this book right now. I'm just saying I was not chilled. There was a guarantee. I do understand that I did secondhand this book, so maybe the guarantee was voided in the aftermarket.
Yeah.
But I have questions about that guarantee.
I do feel like it did what it promised, though. Dinosaurs did destroy Detroit.
That's fair.
Yeah. And there were surprisingly specific call-outs of buildings that I don't know if they're real or not. Like, oh, the dinosaurs destroyed the Fisher building. And I'm like, I guess if you're in Michigan, that means something.
They have to. You could tell. Because he name dropped a couple suburbs, too. And I was like, this guy did his Michigan research for sure.
Johnathan Rand. Feels like a pen name for some reason. It
is a pen name. Christopher Wright is the name of the actual name of the writer.
Oh.
Why was he ashamed of this book?
I was going to be like, Ayn Rand's son wrote off-brand Goosebumps?
Well, didn't you notice on how these kids just like pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, and because they were objectively better, they succeeded?
That does seem to be the message of Dinosaurs Destroy Detroit.
Johnathan Rand, I think you called onto it, Kevin, of there's something weird about it being Michigan. Even as a kid growing up in Indiana and thinking that it was so cool, there was a TV show called Erie, Indiana. I'm like, there's not really that many spooky things in the state. It's not a spooky state.
Right.
We got cornfield and like Amish people. That's about as scary as it gets.
There's Amish people in Indiana?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I used to go to a place called Amish Acres all the time. It was like a tourist trap the Amish would set up, and I bought glass-blown marbles made by an Amish boy. It was great.
I just thought that Amish was pretty much located in Pennsylvania. I didn't know they made their way out there. Cool.
No, not everything's in Pennsylvania.
He's right. I got to get over that.
But you have to admit, most things are in Pennsylvania.
It's a big state.
I would be surprised if something wasn't in Pennsylvania.
You know who's not in Pennsylvania? Dr. Oz's residence.
Damn.
That's right. Fucking got him.
Damn.
I think we're allowed to say that Goosebuds officially endorses John Fetterman for Pennsylvania office.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, if we didn't, he would crush us in his giant arms. So we would.
We should have him on the show.
I would. This is an open invitation. If someone wants to send this to Mr. Fetterman, you are invited.
So Johnathan Rand.
Yes.
What's his real name, Paul?
Christopher Wright.
That's a fine author name too. I don't know what. Okay, we'll have to do more deep diving on this. He not only wrote the Michigan Chillers series, at some point he clearly was like, Michigan is too small for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And branched off to the American Chillers franchise.
He made 20 Michigan Chillers though, so he really mined Michigan for all it had.
Much like the industries of the 1900s mined Michigan for all of its resources.
Sad.
Is that
sad?
I mean, yeah, it's not a great state.
Well, how do you know so much about Michigan, Chad? Did you read the Wikipedia?
I'm purely pulling this off of living next to Michigan. South Bend is South Bend, Indiana. I grew up was right on the borderline, so it's this very funny thing where Indiana is a dry state, i.e., we don't sell alcohol on Sundays, but Michigan does. So within a mile, you can see your state line, and then on the other side of it, 10 liquor stores on every road.
Fucking blue laws.
Yeah, it's very silly. So I'm only more familiar with the southern parts of Michigan. I actually do not know Detroit very well.
I wanted to ask you which you felt more, because we're dealing with Midwest here, and you're a Midwest boy. What did you feel more attuned to, Michigan or Illinois?
I feel the most attachment to Illinois.
Okay.
Especially because South Bend was so close to Chicago, and I latched on by proximity to Chicago, Illinois.
Did a Michigan chiller ever chill its way onto your bookshelf as a lad? Or
no, I had never heard of these, and some of these are very like. I'm looking at this list. Creepy Clowns of Kalamazoo. I know Kalamazoo.
I know
That's not a big area at all.
There's one from Indiana called Iron Insects Invade Indiana, which seems perfect for you.
Well, let's see. If we ever decide we want to do another one of those, I might need to check that out. Iron Insects. These books are still rocking, dude. He released one in 2020, December 15th, right before the big old shutty. Jesus, yeah. Arkansas algae monsters.
Oh man, I really want to start calling the lockdown the shutty.
The big old shutty.
Big old shutty.
Pre and post shutty.
Yeah.
This is interesting. He moved on to these other ones. If it's not clear yet, also Mr. Rand has a habit of his titles being alliteration. Something I can appreciate. It's fun to do.
Yep.
So Dinosaurs Destroy Detroit, the Triple D, is a book about that's what happens.
That's the whole synopsis right there.
Yeah, it delivers on all 3 Ds that it prompts.
I found the author's writing style to be very cinematic. Like, the chapter breaks almost feel like TV breaks almost.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, he loves doing but what I would find out is there are actually 3 dinosaurs. But I wouldn't be so mad if I knew that in the future I would be abducted by dinosaurs. Like,
he does the exact opposite of what R.L. Stine does, which is, he tells you precisely what's going to happen and does not try to trick you in any way.
There is at least one dream fake out.
Oh, that's true.
There's one dream fake out that was it was so late in the book that I was like, oh, come on, man. You didn't need to do this. We're good.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will give him for that. And maybe there's more scary imagery in the other books. I didn't find there to be much scary imagery in this book.
No.
This book felt like a video game to me, and I will unpack that later.
About the only imagery in this book is throwing cheeseburgers to a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like that's.
I will now unpack my statement. I believe they only wrote 2 game mechanics for this book, and they used them throughout the entire thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, a very probably frustrating game mechanic in the N64 version of this game, where the dinosaur AI is not like perfectly latched to the cheeseburgers.
The pathfinding for the dinosaur would be terrible.
You're throwing the cheeseburger, but the dinosaur's like not. It's just like, it's right there. Fucking go to. It's like any bad old fishing game where the fish just ignores the lure.
The dinosaur is just rotating on its axis, just like spinning. Can't find the path.
Freaking T-posing on your ass.
I think it's interesting, like, to compare this to R.L.'s work, because it also definitely it's self-aware of Goosebumps at this point, right? The first book of Michigan Chiller's Mayhem on Mackinac Island. It's so funny. These are Michigan locations.
How long did it get to Detroit?
Number 8, Detroit.
Wow.
Before that, Terror Stalks Traverse City, Poltergeist of Petoskey, Aliens Attack Alpena, Gargoyles of Gaylord, Strange Spirits of St. Ignace, Creepy Clowns of Kalamazoo. They do Kalamazoo before and then finally Dinosaurs.
He couldn't just spend all his Detroit money in the beginning. You got to build up.
You got to build up to Detroit.
I aspire to be this local.
I mean, he picked Mackinac Island, which is that looks like it's a UP location, which is probably beautiful.
Yeah, I've never been to it. I had friends who traveled to it.
It's probably a fantastic place to summer.
There's something about it though, like being aware of what Goosebumps are, and it does feel like it's writing for the genre, right? The entire book feels like a knockoff in a way of, well, we know that Goosebumps are fucking selling. So this is going to go right on the shelf next to it.
I'm going to say this. I think his prose is better. I think he's a better prose writer.
I think he's a little more Spielberg-y.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Amblin during this too. A lot of this book is a boy and his pet dinosaur and more of the fun of having a pet dinosaur. Like, it's not even scary for half of this book.
Yeah, like he has to like stop and tell us how not fun it is on several occasions, but I'm like, this seems pretty fun. You're trapping a dinosaur with like Looney Tunes technology. Like, this is
Kevin,
fun.
that was my note, my precise note with that. I was like, oh, we're going Looney Tunes on this guy.
You said Spielberg, I definitely felt like this is an Amblin movie.
Yes.
This is in the era of like 80s, 90s Spielberg, just replace the dinosaur with E.T. and it's kind of similar beats. Of just like luring him out with Reese's Pieces. Now it's Burger World burgers.
It even has the classic like Amblin villain human, with the dog catcher. Like there's it's like the perfect, like you have the mini boss, right? Before
Mr. Mulrooney.
You have like this like little mini antagonist to start the show.
Yeah, Mr. Mulrooney, who he felt so cartoony, he almost took me out of it. I guess in those movies you would. That's the made-for-TV villain.
He took me out of it at the end when he has his comeuppance at the end, which we will get. We should probably go through this in order at some point.
Yeah. Well, the first part of this book is the most interesting, I think.
Yeah, this starts like insanely magical.
Before I forget this is magical, the first page of this, I wanted to give a shout out. Maybe it's just the copy that we were reading from.
Mm-hmm.
I want to acknowledge that in the precursor on where it says the ISBN and the copyright and printed in 2004, there is a shout out in the credits. Warehouse security provided by Abby, Salty, and Lily Munster.
Oh, sick!
What? Like, cool for the warehouse security guards, and probably one or two of them are being dogs, to get credit in the book. I think that's very cute.
I like to imagine that Christopher Wright, after he wrote his books, showed up and was like, I must sleep with the books at the warehouse for one night before they are shipped out. And then that's how he always became best friends with the guards.
Well, isn't there a rumor that Mario was named after the Nintendo warehouse manager or something like that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe that. I know Kirby's named after an American lawyer, so that makes sense. But also the fact that one of them's name's Lily Munster, I'm assuming that's a pet. That's some sort of dog of some sort.
Oh, I see. You're right.
Salty, if you're listening, set us straight on this. Let us know if you're a dog or a human.
Bark twice if you're a human.
Just thought that was a cute call out. So yeah, this book starts off absolutely nanners, like you said, Kevin.
Yeah.
With just our main character, Nick.
Yes,
Nicky.
Nick.
Nick. He wants to be called Nick. He's called Nicky by his mom, and it's a running beat that doesn't do anything.
It's like two running. Like they just do it twice. Like it's not even a rule of threes kind of thing.
It's just cute character stuff they're doing, guys.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. It's a little thing. He Nick just starts telling us, the reader, about how his grandfather told him the legend of a time window.
It's cool.
Like, great. Like, get us to dinosaurs as fast as possible. But later on, there will be a sag in the book. And I think if we had sort of like built up to there's a time window, like maybe if we made Grandpa an actual character, like, I don't know. But there is a time window. It opens every 50 years. I don't know how we know it opens every 50 years unless Grandpa's 100. Or like this is information passed down through the generations or whatever. But it opens every 50 years on June 28th at 3:05 p.m. And I guess it's open for a week.
Yeah.
It's so specific.
It is. Yeah, I had to write down that there were like many rules because you're just slapped with some rules right off the top of this one.
It's so many questions. You immediately go like, how does the grandfather know this? Did he go through the time window? He calls it a window, not a door. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, he just peered through it.
My question is, where does it take you where you want to go, or just a random point in time every 50 years?
Maybe they don't know like how to control it. Like maybe there's like a dial somewhere where they can change what time it goes to, and just Grandpa neglected to do that part. I would think that instead of calling it a time window, it would be called a dinosaur window if
that's true. Yeah,
if it went to other times, but
it seems like it's so unclear. in just this quick little, even though it's so specific of like how the grandfather knows this, and if he ever went through, I honestly kept expecting there to be a thing where like somehow like out of contact in the third act, they were going to go through the time window and Grandpa was there. He's like, I chose to live among the dinosaurs.
That would have been sick. I abandoned your family. Oh my God, Dad, grandfather should have disappeared, and then he went. Oh man, that was a total missed opportunity.
So Nick is like tells his friend Summer, his best friend, platonic girl, cool kid Summer, and she's like, we should totally go check it out because that's like tomorrow.
I like Summer a lot. I wish she was written a little better because like she's written a little too like Nick's like, I must protect, and like she has beautiful hair, and like okay, dude, I get it. You got a crush on Summer. Can like she do some cool stuff, or is she just gonna kind of be cheerleader best friend this whole time?
Yeah, she kind of cheerleader best friends because she shows up a couple times and has things occur by accident because of what she's doing. She does get to transform from a dinosaur into a girl in his dreams, though. Cool little moment.
Oh man, that aforementioned dream fake out for a second. I was like, I am on board. This is Animorphs. Let's fucking go. Like, out of nowhere, for whatever reason, she can turn into dinosaurs. Let's rock.
Right. That would be sick. If she were a dino girl, that would have been even cooler.
They decide to go to this random park. There's a hill, and as Grandpa described, a group of trees that are bigger than Grandpa said, but Grandpa saw them 50 years ago, so of course trees have gotten bigger.
No, that's a good point. I didn't even realize that. That's a good note. I like that.
Oh yeah, I think Nick even calls out. I'm like, I mean, hey, how much did the grandpa like? Did he tell you the diameter of the trees? But wouldn't you know it, on the dot, a shimmering like transparent portal appears that you cannot see through unless you stick your head in.
Mm-hmm. It's tall, and it's taller than a house.
They also, in my favorite thing that these books do is they buy snacks first.
Oh yeah, they buy Cokes and
Slim Jims
and eat them on the way.
And they also get a camera.
Oh yeah, the camera doesn't really pay off anywhere, does it?
Nope.
Yeah, no,
he tries to make it pay off, and it's cool because he does the disposable one too, so it's all in there. You don't have to worry about changing out film or anything like that. It's a good move on Nick's part.
Yeah, that's technology right there. They're never gonna make something better than a disposable camera.
Nothing will ever get more convenient.
That's actually incredibly smart. I like the setting of what this is. It kept implying more of a deeper world than there probably is, but just like it's in this junkyard with like broken down cars and rocks, and I'm like, you're gonna tell me that ancient elves or druids built this or something? Like I was just kind of waiting for a little bit more world building, just the way he was describing the scene, but
it never comes.
Never comes. It's just there's a magic time portal. Grandpa knew about it. Dinosaurs, y'all. Let's get to it.
And like dinosaurs could have happened. Like there could have been like, you know, like an iceberg or something, or like I don't know. Like we could have got or a weird scientist guy making clones or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like time portal is the most fun
and the most direct. It gets us there quick.
It is literally the most direct way to get dinosaurs into Detroit.
I agree that I think he does front load this book too much because they walk through, right? And they do this thing where they have a great idea. It's actually very smart on the kid's part. Nick says, I'm going to walk through and hold your hand, Summer. If I squeeze your hand, pull me back out.
Smart.
Really smart. Real smart move. I love the kids acting smart up front. They go through. He pulls her after he sees the dinos and gets kind of blown away. He pulls her through, and they have a little Jurassic Park moment where she Laura Derns, and then they see every cool dinosaur within 5 minutes, which I thought was pretty incredible. Like within the first 15 pages. He has seen every fucking cool dinosaur that exists and also provided sick dino facts for all of them.
There are good dino facts here.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that I appreciate that the book acknowledges that any kid that age by that point had seen Jurassic Park.
Oh, yes.
Because at first he's almost overly describing what a Triceratops is. Maybe the author wanted this to be educational. And I'm like, I know what it is. I've seen Jurassic Park. I saw Dr. Grant put his head up against the big sick Triceratops.
Mm-hmm.
But then like another beat or two later when he describes the T-Rex, like it looked exactly like Jurassic Park. Yeah, cool. Kids are going to love this.
Thank you for using the shorthand that our culture has provided you.
The shorthand that Ernest Cline would use for much success in Ready Player One.
Boy.
Just describe the thing is like that other book or movie.
Geez.
Wow, Quetzalcoatlus. You're a flying dinosaur. I'm like, cool. I'm not going to look it up, but I trust you.
I trust the kid.
But by the way, as smart as they are, I did find it a little shitty of Nick to assume that Summer needs to come through. Right? He's like, he is Summer is the safe line back in their timeline. Yeah. And he goes, yo, this is pretty crazy. And he chooses to pull Summer through.
What they needed to do was 1 big squeeze, take me out. 2 big squeeze, do you want to come in? 3 big squeeze, yes, I do want to come in. 4 big squeeze, nah, I don't think so. I think I'm all right. I'll stay out here. Just
5 squeeze, I'm kind of hungry. Should we get burgers after this?
The Slim Jims weren't enough. Also, do you want your pop? I can hand it through.
For the record, you both have my consent to pull me into a time portal.
Thank you.
I would like
regardless of time era?
Yeah, I think in general you can just assume that I'll go through a time portal.
I don't want y'all pulling me through anything like pre-1970s without my consent.
Wow, why? That's a small window.
You're just not going to go through time, even if like the opportunity exists. You're just not going to do it.
If you're tugging me, Kevin, if you're tugging me, and I don't know what that time period is, I just want you to pop back and go like, it's the 1900s, it's okay, but like, we should bring a knife or whatever. Like, or I want to think about like what almanacs I need to use, what money currency we need to have with us.
Chad, if I'm tugging you, I want you to know that you can trust the tug. It's a bro's tug. If you can't trust a bro's tug, then
I'll follow you into the dark.
Thank you.
Cross the portal with him, man.
It's a good tug.
It's okay. Tug us through. They do see T-Rexes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tyrannosaurus.
No concern over like stepping on a butterfly and destroying the timeline.
No, they're not thinking about any of that stuff.
You know, guys, fuck the timeline.
Wow.
Things haven't turned out great. We can mess some shit up and see if it's better.
Yeah, what are we afraid to screw up, you know? Like, the world's pretty fucked up. Just let it ride, baby.
It could use maybe a little bit of a remix, like maybe like you crush a butterfly or whatever, and then stick your head back out the time portal and be like, is everything fine? Is global warming still a thing?
Food and water is free for everyone. Keep stepping on stuff.
It was all because of one dickhead butterfly millions of years ago.
The butterfly that came up with capitalism ruined everything.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck you, Harold.
So, I think that's kind of the rest of they do. And then they are like, oh, we should get out of here soon. Because who knows how long this time went. I don't know if I guess Grandpa had said it's open for a week, so there wasn't a ticking clock. I was concerned.
No, they take some pictures, and while taking pictures, they accidentally stumble into a T-Rex who notices them. And Summer just books it, and Nick is like, oh shit, I guess we're running. And so they run.
Nick's like, that's the worst thing you can do. Like, he's some sort of like T-Rex expert.
Right?
Oh, that's right. This is where they reference that, the T-Rex can't see you if you're moving, which, do we know if that's actually true?
There are a lot of T-Rex facts in this that I don't know if they're true.
How would we know? We're looking at fucking rocks. We don't know.
We're looking at rocks and bones here, guys, that we can only infer so much information from this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you could read that from bones, that their brains didn't detect movement. I don't know. I'm no paleontologist.
No, we don't. This kid's flying by the seat of his pants. Don't listen to him.
I am a paleontologist, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, we don't know shit.
Thank you. Thank you for finally clearing that up.
Yeah. I've waited a while to reveal the fact that I am, in fact, a paleontologist. And if you have any further questions, please, I can weigh in.
What's your favorite type of bone?
Probably the funny bone, because, I got a sense of humor.
I don't take myself too seriously.
God, Kevin, I want you to be my camp counselor so bad. So Nick is just like, hey, what's this, an egg? I'm taking it.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Again, he sees every cool dinosaur and discovers a dinosaur egg within the first 5 minutes of being traveled through time.
He goes into a Nick cave in the bad seeds, and then he finds a dinosaur.
Jesus Christ.
Freaking nice.
Jesus Christ.
Right, guys? Alternative music.
Nick does not question what the egg is. I know several times afterwards he's very much like, I didn't know it was a T-Rex egg. I had no idea. I'm like, well, you did see one. You knew there was in proximity. There was a chance. There was like a 1 in 5 chance it's a T-Rex egg.
I felt like this moment could have been maybe like changed a bit. Like if we had a little bit more lead up, like maybe like we do have like that brief mention of kids are making fun of him because he is talking about his grandpa's time portal and wants to prove that his grandpa's not a liar. I think we could have motivated the egg stealing a little bit better just because it just kind of feels like he takes the egg because he's a thieving piece of shit.
Yeah, there's no good moral reason for them to take it. They could have spent a little more time in dino times, you know? Like,
yeah,
they could have hung out. I was happy when they left it quickly. I was like, oh, this book's moving along quickly. But then they spend a far disproportionate amount of time in Amblin Entertainment era.
My Pet Dinosaur.
Yeah, my Pet Dinosaur. And that's the problem. They could have spent like at least 2 or 3 more chapters dino hunting. Maybe they pick up the egg like the last second, and it's like right by the door, and they get scared and fall through with it. You know, accidentally bringing.
Maybe they run into like a pre-humanoid monkey man, and I don't know. He teaches them how a wheel works. I don't know. Yeah, he does fuck up the timeline. I don't know. Have fun with it.
You could also do a fake out where like he doesn't see a T-Rex and he really wants to, and he's like,
yeah,
and then he like takes the egg back and he's like, oh wait, if I saw Quetzalcoatlus and Triceratops, that means T-Rex could have also been around. Uh-oh.
Kevin, I like your version way better.
Like it could have been a little build to it, but then he's like, nope, T-Rex eats a shoe.
That's right. His shoe does get eaten. That was a funny little moment where it had him by the shoe, and Summer, who apparently has Hulk strength, is pulling against it and defeats it. It pulls the shoe just gets pulled right off his foot.
Well, in my mind, this was that era where everyone had Velcro shoes.
Oh yes,
no,
or Ratch Tech.
Yeah, so it was just easy. It was easy to slip off.
Yeah, he unclasped his BK Ratch Tech.
Oh my god, those ratchets were so cool. I always wanted
what
those.
A pull.
Yeah. What a ratch.
When your feet need to be absolutely secure.
Crank me in, coach.
Let me in, coach. I'm doing 4 clicks tonight.
We were really into your shoes need to be activated. That and the pump up air things that were just lies. I think I'm about 7 pumps today.
Dude, the fucking pumps never worked.
But I still did it.
I want to see if I can get ratchet shoes for just my day-to-day, because I think that would probably improve my mood quite
daily walkers.
So next he goes home pretty uneventfully, and he gets home invaded.
That's right. That's right, he does.
Well, he leaves the egg unattended for a while, which is like, how is that not all you do with your day?
Yeah.
Is just stare at dinosaurs.
Yeah, keep an eye on the egg, kid.
And he tries to get, like, folks to listen to him about dinosaurs, but they're all like, fudge off, you fuck, we hate you. Stop talking about dinosaurs, kid. Stop the lies.
I kind of liked this part in terms of, having to have the parents not trust a kid. Mm-hmm. The Goosebumps cliches of the dad's reading the newspaper, won't look up from it, or the little sister is too annoying. I think having the photos developed at a local like 1 hour photo and then taking it to a journalist, and the journalist is going like, I don't know, you kids with computers can do anything. I don't believe it. I was like, that seems reasonable.
That's pretty real.
Seems like actually I completely believe why no one. Yeah, what would you even do? You go to a paleontologist? I don't know what you would do with this evidence.
It's rude to wake a sleepwalker, is what this book is saying.
Please elaborate on that phrase.
People don't want to hear the truth.
That's damn. Kevin's just fucking killing it with the counselor today.
All your counselor wisdom, damn.
So he comes back because he's going to get the egg to show it to the newspaper people, and then they'll see. That'll prove everything. But his whole room is trashed, and he's like, did a burglar come in and burglarize it? Is the burglar here right now with a crowbar waiting to kill me? But no, it was a dinosaur.
A dinosaur did a little gremlining through his house, destroyed his whole house, and then literally ate a hole through the wall, which he covers up with a checkers board, I believe.
Checkerboard, somehow. He, leans it, I guess, against it and just goes, my dad won't notice that there's no heating working in the house.
Was there a problem with kids having exotic pets in the 80s and 90s? Like, is that why we have all these fucking cautionary tales about gremlins and dinosaurs and ETs and shit?
There's definitely a trope of some sort, to the point where even in this one, I think the reason why the middle part of it dragged so much was it's like, I got to keep the secret. I'm like, I don't know why. Like, tell people.
Once the dinosaurs attacked, I was like, all right, kid, now you've got free reign to just go to everybody and ask for help, because the dinosaurs are literally on TV right now.
There are dinosaurs on TV, and somehow, like, he's like, I can't tell people there's a baby dinosaur here because that might be tied back to me and I'll go to jail.
Well, that's the thing. His guilt, I think, is what this is the telltale dinosaur egg here, right?
And I'm like, kid, in 10 years, you're going to find out you have something called generalized anxiety disorder, and it's everything in the hindsight's going to make a lot of sense to you.
The T-Rexes are temporary, kid.
Yeah.
If there was a character in the town, I know there's the dog hunter who's like, oh my god, if the dog hunter gets a hold of this T-Rex, he's gonna take him. He's like, no, he's not. That guy's going to die.
It's the dog catcher. I think dog hunter implies that Mr. Mulrooney is like killing and skinning.
I mean, they painted him in a dark, like he took someone's dog from their front yard because dogs need to be on a leash. I see that as a more vengeful, like, I just like dogs getting put down.
I agree with Chad. He was a dog hunter for sure.
Listen, we need jobs for sociopaths, all right?
we need to keep them busy. Come on.
They used to have all kinds of jobs. Now it's like Wall Street or serial killer. That's all you get.
Listen, I'm going to make a callback to something I said. We got rid of executioners, and then we just, all of a sudden, now all we got is a bunch of serial killers. Torturers and executioners. We made their jobs too easy. They don't want to work anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, nobody wants to work. They're all quiet quitting.
I don't know if I want to double down on there should be more like beheadings, but I don't know. Maybe
I could think of a few in Washington. Now it's political.
John Fetterman, please still come on our show. John Fetterman, you're not one of them. You're not one of them.
We would put Dr. Oz in an Iron Maiden for sure.
Excellent.
It's filled with acai berries. Dr. Oz will be good for you. Got him. The part where it's my pet dinosaur, and it is like he likes hamburgers, and it is like you said, Paul. A major part of this book is just kind of resource management of how many burgers you got. Can we lure the dinosaur over? Oops, out of burgers. We'll try again. And this kind of repeats 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, he starts it by like feeding it every piece of meat in his parents' house. And his parents are working hard. His dad works a night shift. Like, he's throwing him steaks, and I'm like, kid, like, I realize this is an adult thought that no child would ever have, but I was like, that shit's expensive, all the meat you're throwing out right now.
Dude, right? I like how there's maybe a little bit of a class difference between Nick and Summer.
She has a fridge in the garage full of steaks. She's definitely upper class.
Yeah.
I noticed the Nick's dad, like, I don't know if we'd had a Goosebumps protagonist that had a particularly like blue collar family in a while, and saying that like dad's working at the mill or whatever was noticeable. Yeah,
I liked
it. Yeah.
Late at night, Nick hears some sort of horrible screech, and he goes out and he finds the dinosaur, and there's a big fucking reveal where he tempts it out with meat, and then he feeds it frozen hamburger meat, which will matter later, and he covers it with a burlap sack when Mr. Mulrooney, Dog the Bounty Hunter, shows up.
There's a very tense scene where Dog the Bounty Hunter tries to get close to the burlap sack and investigate it, and then he is quickly distracted by a look over there, a dog.
And then is saved by a lucky bark. Most fucking so stupid.
I felt bad, and then I was like, somewhere a dog has just been framed by Nick.
He will find this dog now. This dog will be punished tonight.
Punished for it. But also, guys, how cute in your mind was little sleeping T-Rex curled up like a cat, covered with a burlap sack like a little blanket? How cute was that?
I was into it.
They did compare the T-Rex to a cat a lot. And I'm like, all right, you get it. You get my admiration.
You're working on me here.
I mean, my favorite one was, I think, attempt number 2 to wrangle T-Rex. He never names it. It's weird he doesn't give it a name.
I think he fears it too much to name it, but I agree he should have named it at some point.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Again, if when he figures out he has generalized anxiety disorder, he'll find a name for his fears, and then he'll be better at that.
There's that fucking wisdom again, Kevin. Damn it.
Here's that wisdom.
That's the best thing you can do for your fears is give them a name. That'll help you control them.
I think attempt number 2 or 3, where Summer and Nick realize that the T-Rex is hunting them, is like the closest to maybe something scary. And even though I was kind of like, oh, it's like when my cat stalks me at night and runs out at me suddenly, it makes me scream. Yeah, it's cute.
I like how life goes on in between these T-Rex encounters, because
my God.
he'll be like, yep, the T-Rex is out there probably eating dogs by the dozen, and I had to take a shower and, have dinner and, maybe watch some TV and shit. I'm like, how do you... All right, maybe you don't have anxiety, because...
No, he's pretty chill when he's not. He's just like, he has a good work-life balance, honestly. Yeah. Nicky does.
Not just him, all of Detroit, I think, was kind of wildly still going.
All of America, because where's the National Guard, guys?
Yeah, this would be what? Bush Senior? No, this would be
Bush
Bush
Jr. This is B-Dub.
B-Dubs. You tell me he's not like sending in a bunch of Texas Rangers to capture the dinosaur?
I just called him B-Dubs, like his last name was his first name.
What? B-Dubs.
W as we call them.
Yeah, no, comparing him to like BW3's Buffalo Wild Wings, I think this also kind of works for that precedent. The part of the story where I think if we're allowed to jump to now other dinosaurs are among.
Yeah, yes. I mean, the only thing that happens is that Summer does have the great idea to create a Looney Tunes style trap to catch the T-Rex.
Yes. Well, we have an almost horse murder, and that's when we learn that the dinosaur only likes cheeseburgers.
Yes, a hilarious scene. Please describe it.
Not hilarious, terrifying. Go ahead, please describe it.
So they're following the dinosaurs' tracks, and they have a bunch of like pilfered steak that they're trying to wave around to like tempt out the dinosaur, and they follow the tracks toward a like horse farm, and they see all the beautiful horses prancing around in their enclosures, and they see a wee baby foal still like getting used to having legs. And then they're like, oh shit, it's that dinosaur we're looking for. And he's going for the baby horse. And the baby horse is like, I love life. I love to live. Living is cool.
I am God's perfect animal.
Yep. And the dinosaur takes a run at the baby horse. And we're led to believe that it's over for the horse. But the dinosaur is actually going for an adjacent billboard for Burger World.
Jesus Christ.
And there's a giant wooden burger on it, which it just tears into it. And it's a hilarious scene, Chad.
Well, I guess the part of, once you know the horse is safe, it's hilarious.
Right.
I was genuinely terrified.
Oh, I thought that horse was dead.
We were going to read about a sweet baby horse being mauled.
I was waiting for the first gross out kill for this T-Rex, for sure.
And then when the foal's like, no, I'm too fast. I have alert senses. I'm like, yes, you guys, horses fucking rock.
Of course, Chad's taking the horse's side on this one.
Horses have done nothing wrong.
Chad screamed out, "Show us the meaning of haste" when he was reading this moment.
Yes, run fast, Shadowfax. Go quickly.
Show us the meaning of horse. When this fucking dinosaur gets back to dinosaur times and there are no cheeseburgers to eat, it's gonna fucking die.
It grew up on these. It's been spoiled. It's like a little baby bird that you touched and now it's been imprinted and you're screwed it up.
I'd be kind of curious if eating processed, 2000s McDonald's meat isn't gonna fuck that dinosaur up something bad.
Yeah.
Even it's like fecal remains in prehistoric times could have a lasting impact on the timeline.
Nope, dinosaur poop jokes either, which is kind of a missed opportunity, I feel.
Yeah.
But they couldn't even say butt or hiney later. So
no, they did not.
Yeah, interesting that it censored itself.
Maybe that's just Michigan values, baby. Don't do a cuss.
He eats a billboard because he thinks I guess it does have enough space, like eye skills. That's the term for it, to identify a cheeseburger on a billboard and think it's food.
They describe how this thing has like amazing senses of smell and all that, but I think they have pretty bad senses of smell if he's eating a fucking billboard.
Right. Right.
The fact that it never really goes for Nick or Summer, I know there's the quick fake out like, oh, it's bit onto my leg, but there are multiple times where both the adults and the baby T-Rex are just like, I only care about the cooked meat.
It got a taste for it. It got a taste for the burg.
And on attempt 3, they buy 12 cheeseburgers.
They try to Looney Tunes sketch it. It doesn't work. They catch a dog and accidentally torture a dog for a night.
Yep. They don't torture a dog. They just keep it locked up all night. I just want to make sure people don't think they were like poking a dog with a stick.
There's a weird throwaway scene where Nick is
so
tackled by an 18-year-old.
What the fuck was that about?
There's a man out at night tackling children and saying that they're letting the air out of his tires. He must go around tackling every child he sees out at night.
I feel like that had to be based on a real situation.
I forgot that guy even existed because he doesn't come up again. It's also the only thing that saves. I completely forgot. Yeah, Nick is tackled by a baby T-Rex, prepares for the bites to go into his throat, and I guess the T-Rex was scared away by this adult?
No. He threw a burger and it sent the T-Rex running, and then he booked it. He ran off. And as he was running away, he thought he was attacked by the T-Rex, but it was, in fact...
Oh, they all misinterpret that entirely.
Yeah,
I understand.
Air out of tires guy tackles him and takes him down. There's just a man out at night, a vigilante man who's upset about his tires being deflated, tackling children.
I feel like this book gives kids the worst advice for trap and snare making because... you actually don't want to tie the bait to the stick. There's so many ways that can go wrong. You tie a very long rope to the stick, and then you pull it from a far distance away.
Yeah, you hide in bushes nearby, and you choose when the trap is sprung.
Yeah, don't have a lazy trap. Like...
Kevin's dwarven engineering instincts are going off right now.
At the very least, lay on top of it so that you can close the lid yourself when the dinosaur goes in.
I love whenever a children's horror author has to describe an engineering problem. Like, it's always the most repetitive. It's like, so we tied the stick to the rope, and then we put the box up with the stick under it. Now, the box was at a 45-degree angle. Like, I get it. I get what's happening. You can just say, like, the Looney Tunes, but you're like...
You know what? Just draw, like, do a Kurt Vonnegut and just draw a silly doodle.
Draw a fun doodle and put a butthole in the pictures for some reason. Like, have, like, a bird with its butthole sticking out or something. I don't know.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that trap does not work. Yeah, some poor dog is given a cold night in a box, and then runs for freedom. We never see him again. And by then, I think now the news has covered there are adult dinosaurs.
This is incredible. The dinosaurs come out and they're mad. They're not attacking humans. They're destroying valuable infrastructure. In fact, I do believe they know capitalism, Butterfly, and they're like, oh yeah, Harold, the capitalism butterfly? Well, now we're let loose in your playground, bitch, and we're gonna fuck it up.
This is what you have wrought, Harold.
Yeah, they destroy a tower, ignore people, and then just proceed to head towards where their baby is, which is... I couldn't stop thinking this is Jurassic Park 2, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the major thing of like, oh, the T-Rexes are looking for their baby.
Right.
Hey, I don't... I'm a paleontologist recently.
Of course.
And
yes.
I don't think that a T-Rex could bite through concrete.
Or cause explosions with its mouth. They talk about how much fire there is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like T-Rexes were, like, fairly stoppable. And this just keeps saying they're unstoppable.
The least believable moment of the entire book is not the time-traveling dinosaur. It's a description, as Nick watches TV, of a Detroit police officer firing 20 tranquilizer darts at a T-Rex and it not going down.
I think it would be really, really funny if, like, the reason why they couldn't kill the T-Rexes was, like, there were a bunch of hippies who were, like, being like, we can't hurt God's most beautiful creature, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. If they had just made up a reason why they can't, like, firebomb the T-Rex into the dirt or something like that.
I was going to say, that's funny, because I was going to be like, my reading of it was, some very rich individuals were like, no, you will not kill it. We must subdue it. And they kept trying to subdue it. And then it was just wreaking havoc upon Detroit the entire time.
My aging body needs a T-Rex blood transfusion.
I need dino blood infusion.
I think, and I don't want to pigeonhole all of Detroit in a certain box, but I think we all know about the economic disaster that brought about Detroit with the collapse of the auto industry, and Detroit's seen better days. And I think even in the 2000s, Detroit was on the downward slope.
Mm-hmm.
I have and my immediate thought when we saw this cover was like, Detroit's going to fuck those dinosaurs up. Like,
they're going to show up.
Yeah, those dinosaurs are going to go to 8 Mile, and they're in for some trouble.
They do so little that Nick has a couple of like television dinner breaks with his mom, and seemingly they're just letting these things just tear up, and they're like, well, I mean, National Guard will show up someday. You know, I say this, then I'm like, I remember how Bush handled emergencies, so I guess, you know, maybe it isn't so unrealistic.
Was Bush reading a children's book to some kids, and then a Secret Service agent had been like, 2 more dinosaurs just attacked.
There's another dinosaur. There is another dinosaur. A second
dinosaur just attacked the world.
Happy 9/11, guys.
Wee! Tasteful 9/11 jokes.
So they do. There's at least 2 straight days of attacks. As our genius protagonist figures out that they're looking for the baby T-Rex, and he must use the one game mechanic he has been given, which is throwing burgers. And so they take all their savings and buy a ton of burgers, and they're like, we're gonna do it.
He has to like beg for the cheeseburgers because it's morning. And
right.
Yeah, Burger World doesn't have, we're making muffins and stuff.
They're on the breakfast menu, and that's because they have to keep the stove they use for burgers they're using for eggs, and they have to keep it at the egg temperature. They can't share it between burgers and eggs.
Wow, the flat top can't switch over.
Flat top can't switch over, otherwise you'd get an overcooked egg or an undercooked burger.
Wow.
Oh, but what if you just mixed them all together and you had burger eggs? Oh.
That's always a great combo. I love that combo so much.
I mean, I love putting an egg on my burger, yeah.
This is the part where I was most shocked that when they go to Burger World, people are just living their lives. There's someone just clocking in on a shift at Burger World. They know that this is day 5 of Dinosaurs Destroy Detroit, but you know, they're essential workers. They gotta keep going.
Yeah, that part felt the most real to me. It's like, dinosaurs destroying Detroit. Yep.
I was gonna say, having lived through a number of tragedies in my life, I have started to realize that you think that the tragedies will stop the world, but no, we just keep on living through them. So maybe this is highly realistic, actually.
Yeah, get me into that time portal so I can kill Harold. So they get their burgers. They find the baby Trex, find the baby Truckosaurus. They give them some burgies, and they ride their bike chucking burgers over their shoulder. I imagine like what Paperboy was the
Yeah.
They run into Mulrooney, who's still looking for dogs, even though. When does Mulrooney sleep?
How does Mulrooney not process the dinosaurs are real and is just going, there's still too many loose dogs?
This is the best part, because dinosaurs have been exposed to it, so we don't have to hide the fact that dinosaurs are in the world anymore. But Mulrose, what is his name again?
Mulrooney
gets out of his car, for some reason doesn't have his glasses on.
He doesn't. Why is he driving
without
his glasses on?
It's crazy.
He's hunting dogs without his glasses.
It's a mad world that we're living in. And the best part is that Nick is like, all right, here it is. Hail Mary throw. And he frickin' wings a burger, hits Mulrooney in the face with the burger. And then the dinosaur takes a little chomp out of Mulrooney, gives him a little payback for all the dogs he's tortured. And we are described it. Go ahead, Kevin. How is this described about the bite area?
Well, he won't be sitting down anytime soon. Like, Jesus Christ.
Just say it ate his butt.
It ate on his butt a little bit. Just say that.
Like, that's so family. That's so PG to me to be like, it bit his butt. But like, unless you want to be like, yeah, he was bleeding and his digestive system was spilling out through his butt like a hernia. Sure.
The moral fabric of America had not pulled apart enough for us to say butt in a children's book yet.
I guess we rake RL over the coals on this podcast, but he would have the courage to say that the baby dinosaur bit Mr. Mulrooney on the butt.
Bit cheeks.
He would say it.
And just the entire comedy, quote unquote, of like Mulrooney putting a collar on the little baby T-Rex, thinking it's still a dog. Like you said, Paul, you don't need to do those beats. He needs to be like, oh my God, I saw one of the dinosaurs right here. Here's my time to shine. I'll be a hero or whatever. And then,
yeah, Nick saves him from the dinosaur and he goes, I'll never hunt a dog again, and runs off.
I can't hunt a dog without my ass cheeks. So the dinosaur 3 stooges itself into a burger world after it runs across the street.
Pooh Bear stuck in his hole.
Yep.
100% a Pooh Bear stuck in a honey hole situation, for sure.
The 2 giant T-Rexes are reunited with their babby, and they're all 3 of them are chasing the kids, and they run back in the time portal. Or they bike back in the time portal, something happens, and some old lady's like, you should wear a helmet. And I'm like, yeah, you should. Why are you not wearing a helmet?
Wait, I don't remember the helmet part. Wait, what was that?
He gets admonished for not wearing his helmet while riding with the T-Rex behind him. And he does think to himself, I usually wear one.
You're gonna go like toe to toe with a dinosaur, and you don't want like one armor point that a bike helmet provides.
Remember, maybe that is a standards thing, because I remember on like when I worked on like Troll Hunters, there would be times where we'd have the kids like get in a car and drive the car while an evil troll is coming after them saying, I'm going to rip out your spine.
Right.
And we get a standards note that says they need to fasten their seatbelts.
Yep.
Okay. All right, but the troll eating them is not the concern. Got it.
No repeatable behaviors.
Yeah, no repeatable behavior. God damn it.
Chad, you've taught us so much.
Thank you, Chad.
I know about 4-quadrant ideas. I know about repeatable behavior.
I was just going to say, you've taught me all 4 quadrants of television knowledge. Thank you.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So this is like kind of the weakest part of the...
Yeah.
I mean, the middle was a little saggy, but like now they're just kind of trying to figure out how to like end this in a satisfying way. And they trick the dinosaurs, or they trick the T-Rexes to come back into the time portal, which is a hell of a sentence. And they sort of like whip some cheeseburgers in the right direction. The dinos go on their way. But then there's a mega raptor that shows up at the time portal being like, now is my chance.
It's Mega Raptor's time to shine.
Literally everything is happening at once in front of these children when they go back in time. A mega raptor appears before them, tries to kill them, and then is attacked by another incredible dinosaur.
Yep.
Before their eyes.
Yeah, it's a T-Rex, right? The Megaraptor, because in the classic like Pokemon type advantage chart, Tyrannosaurus beats Megaraptor.
Well, I was thinking the Jurassic Park of it all, of like, this has been done in multiple Jurassic movies now, of the T-Rex and the Velociraptor have to either face down at the end, or they become buddies and team up together. But yeah, I don't know why the T-Rex is saving them, a la the end of Jurassic Park 1, by fighting the Megaraptor.
Right.
And that's kind of it. It's sort of like a moment out of nowhere where they're like, thank you, Tyrannosaurus. I guess it's not so bad that you're a terrible, horrible lizard thing from the past. Because you saved us from a terrible, horrible lizard thing from the past.
There's no goodbye moment, right? Nope. Like, there's not a single, like, goodbye, little baby T-Rex. Yeah. I'll always miss you.
Like, goodbye and thanks for all the burgers or something.
There's no forest spirit, we give you back your head moment.
Wait, what is that? What is that reference? I just don't know that one.
Princess Mononoke.
Oh, Princess Mononoke, of course.
They stole from nature. They have to return the thing back to nature.
Yeah, it's a man versus nature story. We needed to address that.
Yeah, shit. So it's kind of over, and then we have like a weird fake out chapter where he wakes up and it's like the dinosaurs are invading again. And it's like, no, dude, like this is gonna make like rerun news for forever.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. That he just saw a rerun and thought it was happening again.
Yeah, but it's interesting to have that fake out. I was waiting for the classic Goosebumps, twist ending, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have something happen. Mulrooney went in search of a new butt and accidentally opened up time again, and
Mulrooney hunted for the time portal.
Well, Mulrooney has his like second butt on deck because he knows that it could happen as in the life of a dog catcher. You could lose your whole butt.
He's got a cybernetic butt now, and now he's stronger than ever.
An unstoppable dog catcher cannot be bitten in butt. Wow.
Or you do, the dogs can't bite him. Or you do like a flash forward 50 years to like Nick and Summer meeting up as adults, like at the portal again. And, like, this time we're ready.
Yeah. They bring guns and they hunt all the dinosaurs.
But here's the part I did like about this ending. It was kind of interesting. I don't know. It worked for me in a way. Maybe he does this in every book and it's not cool anymore. But I thought it was neat how he goes to school and the whole thing was like, hey, write about your summer vacation. He's like, and I chose not to write about the dinosaurs. Even though everybody saw the dinosaurs on TV, people are going to believe you. You could talk about, Nick, you could talk about how you were in the middle of that and they're going to believe you.
Well, then he's the cause of it. So he's liable for like millions of dollars in property damage.
Change the narrative a little bit. Just be like, I was walking through the woods and found a dinosaur. Like what? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you need to spin the narrative for yourself here, Nick. It's to the year 2000. Spin politics are in full effect.
Wait for the statute of limitations to wear off, then write a tell-all, and then cash in on that. I guess.
If I did it, is what you should call it.
But so he doesn't tell his story, but someone else tells a very weird sounding story to the class, of which they're made fun of. And Nick talks to them at the end, and they're like, it didn't happen to me, man. It happened to my friend. But look, she wrote it in her diary. Check it out. And he opens it up. And then it leads us into the next book. And we can read the little diary entry. That's fucking cool.
Brilliant marketing. I did like that a lot, where it's like, and the story continues.
Yep, fun.
Setting up like a weird like shared universe, because like that's what we kind of wanted out of Goosebumps. Like there are hints that it's a shared universe type thing, but
we've always wanted the characters to imply that they've run across each other, or that there's something tying these things together,
right?
Or to collaborate, or find like some sort of sense of fraternity in the fact that they've seen things that no one would believe. Like, that's cool. I like that.
The fraternal order of fucked up kids.
Yeah.
I think we just found our own book series we should write.
Fraternal
order of fucked up kids.
Fuck.
I was a child paranormal investigator.
I was really captivated by that. Now you're going to hear this story of the sinister spiders of Saginaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder if there's anything, like you said, Paul, maybe this is just how he ends every book. But like, are all of these connected? Is there any way that book number 7, Creepy Clowns of Kalamazoo, sets up dinosaurs?
Right.
The grandfather is in that book and he gets a fortune told and about a time portal. I don't know. I was just trying to figure this. Yeah.
Michigan Chiller and American Chiller fans, if you know this information, please tweet it at us, email it to us, do anything. Go to our Patreon and support us on Patreon and talk to us there about it. Let us know.
This book makes me wonder if somewhere on that old internet there is like our 3 doppelgangers, but they're all from like Michigan.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
They're the Michigan Chill Buds or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, the Michigals.
The Michigals.
Oh my god.
Chillers. That doesn't make sense. They're the Chipettes to our
Chipmunks. Oh my god,
yeah.
Why did I go exactly there?
Well, guys, I think that was a chiller.
Yeah,
that was a chill time.
It was an interesting book. I'm glad y'all voted us to read it. If you do want us to read any more of these, you might dive back in. But especially if you want to use democracy to get more of these, you can vote on us reading books like this and other great suggestions on our Patreon. That is patreon.com/goosebuds. That'll get you access to not just voting on future books, but access to our exclusive Discord that has a really great group of people. You also get access to our bonus monthly episodes of Camp Goosebuds, which is all banter, no killer, all filler.
Hashtag get more banter.
Yeah.
Hashtag get more banter. Yeah.
Hashtag oops all banter.
Oops all banter.
Oh no, there was a disaster at the banter factory.
It's a fun time. You will enjoy yourself. We do all kinds of fun stuff there. Sometimes we watch and play and review things that aren't books or Goosebumps, and we have a good time on there. You can get all kinds of insights from us.
Yeah, sometimes we just hash it out and figure out how to live.
Yeah, man, Kevin gives you stoic-ass advice. Not stoicism, stoic advice.
Yeah, I'm the stoic one.
Stoically delivered.
Look, I'm not going to tell you to be personally responsible. I'll be personally responsible.
Kevin, what as you're tucking me into my cabin at night, just this podcast, what's some kind? Give us one last final piece of wisdom.
Well, I'm going to brush your forehead gently, and I'm going to say bad dreams go away.
Aww.
And then I'm going to say also you should visit spacekings.space and buy my book. Because what good is being nice to people if I can't make a buck or two, eh? So, my tabletop RPG Space Kings is out. It's very fun and good. You can download it right now at spacekings.space, and also the physical book is coming out very soon. But yeah, check out spacekings.space if you like me and you think I'm funny and you want to throw some dollars at me. I'd really appreciate it. I think you'll have a fun time with my tabletop RPG. It's really easy to learn and play.
It's a very cool game. Kevin, we had a session with a bunch of friends out here this weekend, and on the very, very first flip, 3 jokers.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that space bus they were on immediately crashed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, man. Was it a how to play poker card, or did they take Desperado?
No, we actually had someone play Desperado, and we even did your rule. It's a big group of 8, so yep. I followed your advice in the book of, like, you take one of the jokers out, but now the jokers are worth 2.
Yep.
So I was like, so this is basically worth 6 jokers that you all flipped?
You could have just started a new game.
Holy shit.
The start of a new game, and I was like, I should theoretically kill one of you all off.
Yeah.
But I basically was just like, I just stranded them on an island and made it be like, this is now your hardship that you have to deal with.
Chad, your mercy is infinite.
What a tough choice would have made to be like, the new character you just made, rip up the sheet.
They'll never know their true potential.
Spacekings.space.
That's awesome. 8 people. That we've had up to 12, but 8 people is a lot to manage.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the book. I think you call something like the host like peace of mind, and yeah, it's a lot to juggle.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a bigger group that's like down to play and are very much ad-libbing and adding onto it, it works very, very
That's
well.
a good time.
Did you get to meet in person around a table, or did you do it digitally?
We met in person around a table. So
yes.
It was a bunch of animation writers. We all met up and played and had a great time.
Oh, that's so fun.
So highly recommend people check it out.
One thing I do like about Kevin's book is there is a big old guarantee on the cover. It says no nightmares guarantee. If you buy the book, you can't get nightmares.
Yep. Hang it above your bed so you can look at it, and that'll be the that'll be the last thing you process before you go to sleep.
It's a guarantee.
Guarantee. No more nightmares. Also, find someone to talk to.
All right, guys. I think this has been a Goosebuds. Thank you both for being my friend and reading this book with me, and thank you all for listening. I love you.
Love you guys. Bye-bye. This show is brought to you by the support of our wonderful patrons who appear in the Book of Names. First name, Stefan Jive Turkey Kuwabara.
Hollis Hornbeak.
Low Belly Hate Me.
Cameron Murphy Audio.
Michael McDowell.
Hey, Josh Robb.
Mickey C.
Nathan Dolezal.
Kelly C. Period.
Mike Lanteri.
Buddy Morrill.
Alacade.
Mel Dipson.
Afsheen.
Danky McStanky.
Dango Twist.
Brian Wells.
Zenticles.
Stealth Bates.
Robert Moon.
Jason Crooker.
Clay Castle.
Miguel Pardo.
John Keaty.
Calf.
Third Sergio.
Good news! Chad talked to Aaron and is restarting Paranoia Shop. Thank you for the pledge, but this is a lie.
Quentin, I am in your walls.
Oh, look out, Quentin. Gregory D. Warren.
Alan Saylor.
Cody Redfield.
Bradford Coulter.
Aiden Alexander Dice.
He rolls those dice. Jar Jar Slinks.
Chosen One.
Levi Than.
Up and Champ.
Jonas Eggman.
Carl.
Anthony Mulberry.
The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
Elusive Koala.
Yanni Markovina.
Joe.
Brooke X.
Jesus Christ.
Christian Vanskiver.
Alicia Grafe.
Drew Applegate.
Jeremy Lowe.
Brian Hobgood.
Zach Connor.
Patreon _donator, yo.
Joe, Spooky Digital Ghost, Tierney.
Andrew Jadzik thinks MC Hamster is truly too legit to quit.
Wow, some compliments. Nice. Some nice words. Lord Cornwallis.
Carson Birkenbean.
Murph Ep. EP. I know it's EP.
Jonas Blotterman.
Tevin Ticklebean will protect the big Jeff baby.
Sean Minogue.
Rushy Glenn.
Wiggle it!
Luke LaFountain.
Chip Handsome.
Matt McClellan.
John Pigeonhat Barber.
Paul Grasso.
Joe, regular name, Scott.
Sarah Kemp.
I've been wanting to say this one for a while.
Hell yeah.
Alex Moon, the robotic dog.
You did it. You made it.
He got
It's a
it.
fun one.
Tanya Turtle.
Vincent Modica.
Luke Canoodles.
Juan Jalapeno.
Hugh Boland.
Zambambino.
Keith Halcrow.
Timothy Misodulakis.
Clay McCarty.
Matthew Stevens.
Parker Lee.
Ham_boat.
Hey guys, Kevin here. What properties should a magical knife called the Steamlin Cleaver have?
I do believe we addressed this.
I still have more questions than answers.
I think it should be piercing damage.
Piercing damage, but with added heat roll damage.
Oh yeah, it's burning. It's fire piercing. Yeah.
And potential poison as well.
Pure emotional damage.
Raymond Hernandez.
Flemily.
The Crowfens, but seasonal.
Ooh, nice. Matthew Sutton.
Nathan Remick.
Need more kimchi.
Lee Wood.
Jeffrey Owen Cahy.
Kelsey Kinnaman.
Reed Stubendike.
Russell Castberg.
Javier Jimenez.
Brendan Arafin.
Chris Petrikis.
Scotty Pippen.
Joey Evans.
Streak.
Meet Virginia.
Carewise Gamgee.
Dungeon Kappa.
Super Swaggy 64 Rise of the Sunshine Yellow Squire. Ooh, that's a rare card.
Cameron Hansen owns it.
MC Hamster.
There he is. Never change.
Zach Weary.
Limp Duck.
Stinklich.
Alan G. Jussum.
RL Slime.
Oh.
Got him.
Generally depressing.
The Deadly Bulb.
Tobias Clark.
Yeah.
Ben Bohan.
Andre Villanueva.
Hey, Anthony. I'm glad you're doing better. Keep up the good work.
Great job, Anthony.
Ryan Stewart.
Estamina. Lord of Paul's Pants.
Jonas and Evoltson.
Calamity Carl.
Germ Juice.
The Davy Boy.
Nick Johnson.
Stephen Day.
Kieran McNamara.
Diet Soda.
Jackie Ledoux.
Coleman Laguza.
Lamb.
Loved your movie. Ryan Carroll.
Jeremy Bowser.
Megan McCormick Mason. It was weird that it was 90 minutes of just birthing a lamb. I thought that was a weird choice.
It was a long process to get that lamb out of that vagina.
Yeah.
But they did it, and it was worth filming.
Hooves first.
A pair of Scots.
Levi Kidder.
Ninja Breadmen.
David Gray.
Peanutberg level 69.
Bryce Theory.
Matthew Bretado.
Got little old moi pretty Frenched.
Carbson.
I am Cornholio. I need teepee for my bunghole.
Great read. Really calming.
Thank you. I think it's really close to the energy of the first original line.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually I'm gonna bring it down to Dr. Chocula.
Phony.
Some of Chad's bird friends.
Nicholas Maloney.
Oh my god, it's subverted my expectations. Moon Juice.
Burger squozed body.
Oh no.
Squoze.
Midwest Indigo 13.
Thomas Jansis.
Aaron Lord.
Eric Horwitz.
Tiffany Lee.
Dr. Egg Drop Soup Man.
Dunnage Warehouse.
SSJ Trogdor.
Lucretia McEvil.
Elmrealm.
Mutant Astronaut.
Henry Torbert.
Adam Knapp.
Mike Spaghetti Jones.
Jesse Hammock.
Logan Derby. Meow.
Brad Schmelzer.
Chick.
Milk Punk.
Mr. Misfire. Ow, my hand.
Mandy Nasty.
Llama Lad.
Skullatorin.
Chris.
Danzig versus Sean Astin. The battle for Pauly Shore's soul begins now.
I don't completely understand that name, but I like it.
I have more questions than I have answers.
Yoplin.
Philip Reynolds.
Detroit Red.
N8-Bit G.
Soggy Newspapers.
Chris Kulik.
Dakota Kemp.
John W.
R.R. Davis Crafts Rye-Animator.
Scott Wable.
Kit Bush.
Elden Lord and Queen Concert to Best Girl Ranny, Dr. Mr. Unimportant.
A beautiful choice.
Rocco.
976 Evil.
Josh Howell.
The Zealot. Liam Rogers.
Evan Bowen.
Kiwi of Lerv.
Serial Killer X.
Oh my god, that's what it is? It's of Lerv? Oh my god, I thought it was Kiwi of Fleur forever.
I like it both ways, honestly.
Yeah.
You can take that out of context.
Clip saved. Greg Musto.
Benjamin Luther.
Dennis Wright.
Jover the Moon.
Cameron Ganzeveld.
Hi, first time, long time.
Allie Rose.
Sprinkle Buns.
Bosivi.
Matt Septor.
Greg Gervasi, a.k.a. Vitizen.
Dakota Kipper.
Dom's Dubious Ding Dang Dong. All right.
Dubious is a fun word for you, Dong.
It really
It
is.
doesn't even sound like a dick thing anymore. Anthony Rodriguez.
B.
Hilda B.
Jeff Webb is still Big Baby, but we both sincerely appreciate your well wishes.
I'm glad you're getting better, Jeff.
Yeah. Good luck being a big baby.
Damn, Chad, bury him.
Internet certified Reverend Odin's Eyehole, MD. Congratulations.
Toraku, the thing that goes doink in the anime. Doink.
Jonathan McEnick.
Ollie_Suts.
Kate the Great.
Mike Hart.
Spencer Y.
The Secret Provider.
James Stavronos.
Gelato-kun.
Cassandra Harris.
Gulliver.
Chris no longer skips the banter. Buyers.
Yes. Congrats, Chris. You made it. The last time, the last name was my favorite.
Soap.
Big Nick Lane.
Kira and Brian are big fans.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Goblin Grader from Instagram.
D Rose Guy 863 Lead Speak.
How did you read that?
Right? That 3's an E.
Incredible. I couldn't read that.
He knows the old text.
A remake of Book of Eli, but I just speak Lead.
Blake Bad Time having caving.
Nice. Quicksand Truther. Oh man, they finally found us.
You haven't proved it yet, Kevin. Dan Antonio.
Truther means the thing's a lie, right?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Well,
No. Quicksand Truther means they believe in quicksand.
Quicksand Truther, give us more context.
please append your name. And please do it in lead speak so that the people above us cannot see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't let Biden see it.
Grab Comics.
And new to the Book of Names, Stinko the Clown.
Love it. Lynn Moats.
Welcome, the Puerto Rican Demon.
And hello, the one known as Troman.
And welcome to George Props.
Master of Props.
You're all stuck here now. Ha ha ha.
Welcome to Name Time.
Thank you very much. We love you.
Thanks,
Bye.
thanks everyone. Love you. Bye.
Bye.